Miami is where sunshine, opportunity, and culture all get together. But what's it really like to live here in Miami? It's not all mojitos and sunshine. Let me break down the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Thinking about making Miami your home? Stick around because this could change the way that you see the city. Hi, I'm Hugo, a Miami native and a real estate expert. I know the city's past, present, and the future. I hear it from the movers and shakers that are driving the city in that direction. I'm gonna give you the real scoop on Miami with no fluff, just the fact. And if you've been thinking about making Miami your home, there's a link in the description below. I would love to talk. So starting off, number one, with no state income tax. And this is a huge one because this one pertains to money back in your pocket. For high earners, this can mean saving a lot of money, thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars compared to states like California or New York. For example, to give you an idea, a $650,000 earner in New York could face an effective tax rate of 45%. Contrasting with Miami's 35%, a year you'd be saving $200,000 annually in cost of living and taxes just by switching to Florida. Now the con number one, I would say, is the high cost of living. Pandemic hit just as inflation was at record highs, and that combination of things has affected the cost of living down here considerably. A lot of locals have decided that they've been priced out and have decided to relocate out of Miami, out of Florida. Although I will say that prices in terms of rentals have come down considerably because of the oversaturation of Airbnbs and rental arbitrage. Everyone decided that they were gonna make money in their sleep sitting on a beach in Bali. And so the oversaturation of those units has now started to put downward pressure on the rentals. And of course, that's a benefit for you. But Miami's lifestyle does not come cheap. For dining out, you'd be looking at between $50 and $100 per person in a mid-range restaurant. Housing costs here can be steep. One-bedroom apartments in Brickell, you'd be looking at $2,800 a month on average, and can very easily get up to $4,000 if it's a larger unit with a waterfront view. It's all gonna be about budgeting and deciding what's most important to you, allocating funds in that way. Living here really does feel like it's a year-round vacation. I'm not trying to convince you, it's the honest truth. Beaches, rooftop bars, boating, yachting, all of these things are a great time, but of course you can see how they will start to add up, and of course driving the cost of living up considerably. I've had many a conversation with a client telling me that they're incredibly happy every day they wake up and it's beautiful outside, the sun is shining, blue skies, and they just feel more alive and happier than they ever did before. Well, I've lived here all my life and I know exactly what they mean. It's something of a Miami effect. And if you're curious about the cost of living in Miami, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can see my next video that I'll be releasing, which is gonna go into cost of living in Miami. Two, I would say, is the traffic and connectivity. The traffic here can be absolutely frustrating, unfortunately, especially the public transit. Our train line is more on the eastern corridor. They have talked now, and it's actually becoming a lot more important to connect the rest of the city, and in the next few years that is on the plan. So they will be extending the corridor more to the north as well as out to the west, connecting Kendall and down south to Florida City. So this is something that is very aware of and it is being addressed. The city grew at an incredible breakneck rate, and so our infrastructure was not equipped to handle it. Because these investments were not made years ago, the can was being kicked down the road, and now here we are. This is being budgeted for, and over the next few years, there will be improvements. The Bright Line train is absolutely fantastic for connecting to other cities. Starts in downtown, goes up to Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and now all the way to Orlando. They are gonna be adding other lines in. To get around the city here, you're limited to Metrorail Eastern Corridor, buses, which take about as long as driving, Metro Mover, again on the Eastern Corridor, and rideshare app. Miami's very car dependent. So what would be your deal breaker? The traffic or the higher costs? Let me know in the comments. Pro number three is Miami's cultural diversity. Miami's an absolute melting pot. You're gonna experience a blend of cultures here like no other place in the US. The languages and cuisines like Cuban food, Peruvian ceviche, Michelin star restaurants, tons of things have been moving into the city more and more, and it's incredibly exciting. From Cuban coffee in Little Havana, even the Ventanitas, which is a little window that sells coffee and small pastries, all the way to our Michelin star restaurants in Brickell and South Beach, it's a foodie's paradise. International chefs from all over the globe have taken notice in Miami, and they've recently decided to make Miami their new home and bless us with their world-class cuisine. Con number 3 has to do with the weather, and unfortunately, it's our hurricane season. Hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. And yes, hurricane season is a real thing. We usually know about a week before the hurricane would actually hit, and a lot of the time it turns out to be tropical storms or rain, nothing that's that serious. The key is preparation and to stay informed, as well as having a home that is equipped to withstand storms and has all the modern technology to beat storms. I'd much rather know a week ahead of time that there will be a hurricane than find out that there's wildfires going on that have now engulfed my home in flames. Another big pro is our career and business opportunities. Miami's booming in finance, tech, and of course real estate. Companies like Citadel, Amazon, and SoftBank have set up shop here, and it's made it a magnet for ambitious professionals. Ken Griffith, the CEO of Citadel, has actually moved their headquarters here to Miami and has purchased several lots in Brickell and will be building a super tall tower earlier this year, which is going to have 1.7 million square feet of office space. Not to mention that Jeff Bezos of Amazon has taken 60 to 80,000 square feet of office space right here in the Wynwood Plaza, cementing Wynwood as a new tech, marketing, art, and creative hub. Con number 4 is how incredibly competitive the real estate market is. The housing market here is incredibly competitive. We have buyers from all over the world looking at Miami, as well as our locals. Finding the perfect home takes someone with experience, strategy, and that knows the local market. Let me help you navigate it. And pro number 5 comes down to the endless activities. We just had Art Basel, Rolling Loud, the annual F1 race event, the Miami Heat play here, the Florida Panthers, Inter Miami, the soccer team. We're gonna have the World Cup in a few years. There's so many things to do, you can never be bored. You have to elect to be bored here. We have 248 sunny days per year. That's 68% of the year. I did the math. That means no more winter coats, no more Arctic frozen tundra weather. It means that you can be wearing a t-shirt and shorts in the house, and you can go outside in the same t-shirt and shorts. You don't have to put on layers just to go get the mail. I'm not saying to wear your pajamas to the store, but my point is to illustrate that Miami offers year-round events and entertainment, which can be as much a blessing as it is a curse. And that brings me to my last con, which is the expensive lifestyle. Designer shopping, luxury and exotic cars, extravagant dining. The world has noticed. We've overnight become an international phenomenon and world-recognized city. You can expect to pay $2,500 to $4,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment in Brickell. A home in Coconut Grove or Coral Gables is going to be upwards of $1.7 million. But if you can manage your budget and get connected with the right people, you can enjoy the best of what Miami has to offer. And let me say this with a caveat, because if you're coming from another large city, Miami is actually still incredibly cheap. So to sum it up, living in Miami is an experience like no other. It's a city that's filled with energy, culture, and opportunity, but it's not for everyone. So if after hearing all of that, you're still considering making a move, I would love to chat. There's a link in the description below. Feel free to set up a free consultation. I would love to talk to you. And before you go, check out my video about the 10 things that you need to know before moving to Miami to make your move a little easier. And if you enjoyed that video, like and subscribe for more Miami real estate insights. And drop a comment. What's your favorite or least favorite thing about Miami? Let's keep the conversation going.